Hey friends, I'm Sabrina from Miami. Please like and subscribe. I was born to two high school sweethearts who loved me to bits. My parents were like each other's best friend, and people called them couple goals. But in reality, they were complete opposites. While Mom was a hardworking, no-nonsense lawyer at a big firm, my dad, well, he was a stay-at-home dad. Polar opposites. Yeah, I know, but still, they were so much in love. As a kid, I wanted to be just like them. I was the best student in class, and I guess that came from my mom considering what a book nerd she was, and a total goofball. That part I am 100% sure came from my dad. As a kid, I always dreamt of becoming a scientist after a field trip with my school to a science lab. I was mesmerized by the many colorful test tubes. I would read science magazines like they were fairy tales and was able to remember everything. Why is it so hard for you to wake up in the morning? Come on, we're gonna be late. That's because of Newton's first law. A body at rest wants to stay at rest. 5 more minutes. Pretty please. Not happening. And don't throw your science facts at me. Ah, you little rabbit. Okay, fine. I could take a 5-minute nap too. Growing up, I was always close to Dad because he was the parent mostly around. One time, Dad took me to the water park and I was having so much fun. When I went for the water slide, I spotted a girl crying and instantly recognized her. It was Gemma from my school. Even though we were in different sections, I had often seen her. Hey, what happened? Are you hurt? No, my mom. She wants me to go down the slide. But look at it. It's so scary. It's dark. I'm scared. This one, it's for babies. Come on, I'll be right behind you. The trick is to close your eyes and enjoy. Ready? Okay, ready. Saying that, I pushed her and then followed her. When we came out on the other side, the look on the girl's face had changed. OMG, it was perfect. Let's do it again. Yay! We had a blast, but our fun was cut short when we heard some people scream and run out of the pool. I turned around and what I saw made me want to hide my face from the world forever. Dad was in the middle of the pool while the water around him was turning blue and all the kids were running out of it. No. That's your dad, right? I'm not with him. Yeah, I'd say the same thing if my dad did that. You see, my dad was adorable, but he could be pretty annoying at times. I guess that was the reason why Mom was always saying that she had to raise 2 kids instead of 1. Well, Gemma and I became pretty good friends, and the fact that she kept the whole pool thing a secret made me like her even more. While I was happy to finally have an awesome friend, things at home were going south. I started to notice that Mom and Dad were always at odds. One moment they would be smiling at each other, and the next they'd be arguing like kids. They'd bicker over the smallest things, like who would take the trash out, who squeezed the toothpaste from the middle, who left the dishes dirty, and whatnot. One time, they started a huge fight over air conditioning. Yeah, it's frickin' freezing. Where's the remote control? Do you have any idea how much last month's bill was? So, now you're gonna throw the I'm the one who brings the money in thing at me. Mom? Dad? I have homework. Can you help me? How about later, honey? Daddy has to go out with his friends. Friends? Yeah. Run away like a little boy. Ugh, you're always acting like a kid. I always hated their fights, but on my 10th birthday, they crossed all limits and started arguing on my birthday in front of so many guests. I had had enough. Oh, please. For once, I really wish you guys would either stop fighting or just leave each other. Because of Mom and Dad, I officially hated love. As if my wish came true. The next day, Mom left for New York, and when Dad found out, he was heartbroken. I can't believe it. How could she do this? I know we had our differences, but this? How come she didn't ever think about you? The realization stung. Mom didn't just leave Dad, but me too. For many days, my mind was in chaos. Seeing me so quiet at school, Gemma asked me what the matter was, and I told her everything. I am never falling in love. It's stupid. Totally. Friendship is the best ship. With Gemma by my side, I felt like things would be all right. But boy, was I wrong. With Mom gone, Dad was out of control. It was like his life's mission to embarrass me. One time when I had participated in a debate competition, Mom was a no-show and I knew the reason. As for Dad, he was in the audience all excited for me, dressed up like a cheerleader, carrying a huge sign. Oh my God, I might die because of embarrassment. Come on, your dad is so supportive and cute too. After my speech was done, I heard noises from the audience.
This idiot has been screaming in my ear for an hour now. It's time he gets taught a lesson. What? If cheering for my daughter is a crime, then I'm a Ah!
Before Dad could even finish his sentence, the other guy gave him a black eye. I so hated that my dad got his butt kicked the same day I got an award for the best debate, but he was always acting like a kid on a sugar rush. Once we got home, I was so angry at Dad that I locked myself in my room, even though Dad apologized many times. When I finally came out, Dad was relieved.
Honey, I am so sorry. I just wanted to make you laugh. Happy. I thought if I acted like a friend, we'd be...
Wait, but why a friend? I want you to be my dad. I can have many friends, but only one dad. I guess my words struck a chord because after that day, I saw how slowly Dad was becoming more responsible. He was managing the house and even started a small business from home, which was going well. He even started to help me with homework, and when I had a science fair at school, he worked with me and we made the best project. On the day of the fair, I stood proud with my project and Gemma was with me. Everything was going fine until I spotted Phoenix, the school's outcast. In grade 1, poor Phoenix had vomited all over a girl, and since then, everyone called him Puke Boy behind his back. For some reason, Phoenix was always smiling at me, and Gemma would often tease me by saying the guy had a crush on me.
Looks perfect, just like you.
You're in the way. Phoenix, can you maybe move aside with your snacks? Right when Phoenix turned, someone shoved him hard. The jerks from the basketball team were here, and Phoenix happened to be their favorite target.
Puke Boy fell on his food. Again! Aw, are those tears in your eyes? Hey, want a hand? Nah.
Instead of helping Phoenix up, they shoved him back and started laughing. I couldn't just stand there and watch the poor guy suffer, so I gave him a napkin. What are you doing? Are you all right?
Whoa, we got something going on here. Sabrina and Phoenix sitting on a tree. Kissin.
Before he could finish, I gave the jerk a much-deserved slap, and that really angered him. But before he could come at me, the principal came and took the whole group away. Good riddance.
Oh my God, I want to be you when I grow up. Thank you so much, Sabrina.
You're welcome. That was something, Sabrina. Gemma and I spent the day with Phoenix, and it turned out he was a gem. Not only was he good at school, he had a heart of gold. After that day, we started to hang out with Phoenix a lot. As time passed, our friendship grew stronger, and in the final year of high school, all three of us decided to go to the same university. I was doing so well, but then I had a 2-week break before my final exams, and I had to go and visit Mom. I was dreading it because I knew she'd be pissed as I didn't attend her wedding a couple of years ago, but when I reached her place, I was pretty shocked. Wow, Mom had surely married a rich guy, and now she even had 2 kids. Meet your brothers. Aren't they adorable? Yeah. So, we're going out. How about you look after the boys? Before I could say anything, Mom and her husband rushed out and I was left to babysit. The entire week went by in a haze, and I realized one thing. Mom had moved on. I knew I should be happy for her, but I felt betrayed. At least I had Dad. But once I was back, I got a surprise at home. Dad was dating again. First, Mom has a new family. Now you're both moving on? Where do I fit in?
You are our child. Nothing in the world can ever come between the love we have for you.
Yeah, some love. Ugh, but why was I blaming Mom and Dad? I was the one who had wished for them to be apart. The guilt was keeping me awake at night, and to take my mind off it, I poured my heart and soul into my studies and got a scholarship to my favorite university in New York. The best thing was that Gemma and Phoenix were going to be with me, but in different facilities. It was totally worth it considering how we got to meet every single day. Things were going great, and in the 3rd year, I was one of 2 students selected to be part of a research team. That was huge! Finally, my dreams of becoming a scientist seemed so near. While working for a research assistant, I met Jacob. The guy was sure amazing, and every time I'd meet Gemma and Phoenix, I'd be telling them about him. Looks like someone has a crush. A crush? Yuck. Jacob and I, we're just good friends.
Yeah, everyone says the same thing when they have a crush.
Did I really have a thing for Jacob? No. I needed to focus on my studies and research. So I started avoiding Jacob, even though I felt bad about it. One time, I was late in the lab with my professor when I had a total eureka moment. I created a new material that looks like plastic, but 100 times safer than plastic. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. Professor, you have to come and see what I found.
What? Impossible.
Look, I tested it again and again. The results are the same.
Yeah, she's right. Congratulations, Sabrina. This is fantastic. This will revolutionize science. Well done, Sabrina. I always expected the best from you.
I was so happy, but when the research paper was published, I got the shock of a lifetime. It was named after my professor and didn't say anything about my contribution, but I discovered it.
And who will believe a science student over a double PhD scientist?
I'll tell everyone. You won't get away with this.
Oh, really? Well, then be prepared to lose your scholarship and fail epically.
What a monster! I had been such a fool trusting him with my research. I needed to tell Gemma and Phoenix about this and ask them what to do next. I ran to Gemma's dorm room, and right when I opened the door, I felt the air knock out of my lungs. Gemma and Phoenix were kissing. What the heck? Sabrina, wow,
Finally. I was telling Gemma for so long that we should tell Sabrina about our relationship, but look how well everything fell into place.
Fell into place? Are you crazy? This can't be happening. No way! You betrayed me! It was like the walls were closing in on me. I felt like my mind was spinning. It actually was, and when Gemma came to hold me, I slapped her. Accidentally. Gemma, I am so...
What has gotten into you, Sabrina? You hit her.
I didn't mean to. Saying that, I ran out of there. I had been walking in the rain for what felt like forever. All my dreams were crushed. My family, my friends, and my career, everything. I didn't know why, but that night I ended up knocking on Mom's door.
Oh my God. What happened, sweetheart?
Mom? It was the first time I opened up to Mom, and in the end, I came clean. I told her how my wish had caused her and Dad to leave each other and how the guilt ate me because of them, how I hated love. It was never, ever your fault. You're a grown-up now. Listen, everything breaks if you don't take care of it. Your dad and I, we didn't take care of the love we had. Things fell apart. Don't be afraid of love. Don't run away from it. Otherwise, you'll never know the real joy of life. Remember, whatever life throws at you, you've got to be steadfast and strong, and everything will fall into place. Even though we're no longer together, look what we have. A smart, strong daughter. You, sweetie. Strong? Smart? Me? Ugh. And then I told Mom what my professor did and what a fool I was for trusting him. Well, Mom, boy, was she pissed. She then brought in the big guns. She sued my professor. Perks of having a lawyer mom. On the day of the hearing, it was the first time I saw Mom in action, and boy was she fierce. Jacob was also there to support me, and in the end, the judge ruled in my favor. I was so happy, but the victory didn't feel complete without my friends, and I knew what I had to do. Today is my wedding day. Gemma, my bridesmaid, and Phoenix, the best man, look absolutely amazing. I am so happy that they're part of my big day. It was all because I had finally accepted my fears and came clean to them all those years ago. I had told them how I was afraid that our trio would break up because of them dating, but it was Gemma who assured me that taking a chance at love was totally worth it. And I finally gained the courage to tell Jacob how much I liked him, and he felt the same way. As I'm about to say I do, I realize how I didn't have to run away from love, but run towards it, because it's the best joy of life. Hello everyone, my name is Tony and this is my crazy story. I was just a baby when my parents moved from China to America. Growing up, Mom was always busy since she worked as a nurse, but Dad worked from home and I loved spending time with him. Mom was the exact opposite. All she cared about was work. Sometimes I tried to get her interested in my life, but it never worked. Mom, I have a huge science test tomorrow. Can you help me?
Honey, my back hurts. I just finished a 48-hour shift. Can you ask your dad, please? It was always the same. As I got older, I stopped trying and Dad became my everything. My parents have always been super proud of their Chinese culture, but I didn't care so much for it. For me, America was the only home I ever knew. Still, I was known as the nerdy girl of the school. Teachers adored me because I was a smart kid, but the kids, well, they disliked me because I loved tests and quizzes and would always remind my teachers in case they forgot. Other than academics, I was practically invisible in school. I never had a boyfriend, and the only person that thought I was cool was my best friend Ashley. We had been friends since our first day at school. Our sheer love of mathematics connected us like two pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. One time when I was in 6th grade, Dad gave me a traditional Chinese hairpin, and Ashley loved it. Whoa, such a big hairpin. It looks so awesome, so Chinese. Dad made me wear it as a symbol of good luck. Here, you try it on. Just as Ashley was checking out the pin, someone snatched it from her. It was Mason. He was the absolute worst. His mission on Earth was to annoy me every day. He was the school jock and the head of the cool squad. The guy had started school with Ashley and I, but he was our junior now because he flunked grade 3 twice.
Wow, good for you for bringing China to school today. Ooh, this looks cool. How much would it make at a pawn shop? Couple of cents?
Give it back, Mason.
Hey, come on, Tony. I was just goofing. Here, it looks good on you. Don't give it to this wacko.
What did you call me? How dare you? It was always the same. Mason just loved messing with me and Ashley, and every time it turned into some argument. That was my life. I know, not quite happening. But things flipped when I turned 15, and one day, Dad announced that he was leaving Mom and going back to China. He wanted me to come with him, but the court didn't agree with Dad. After the divorce, Mom got custody of me, and I was devastated. I tried to get Mom to send me away by being naughty, but she wouldn't budge. One day, Mom was stuck at work and she asked me to order dinner. Instead, I invited Ashley and the entire math club for a pizza party. Are you sure your mom would be fine with this? Cut her some slack, Tony. No way. Come on, let's party. Just then, I heard a loud crash in the kitchen. Someone had broken my mother's favorite china set. Ooh, if that doesn't get her to send me to Dad, nothing else will. When Mom got back, she was pretty upset. What is the meaning of this? Tony, how could you throw a party without asking me? I wanted to, but you know, you're always busy. I didn't think you'd care. Don't say that.
I care about you. Everything I do is for you to have a good life. Your dad, he left us. You, for someone else.
What? You're lying. He'd never do that. Just then, Ashley interrupted and showed me her phone. It was some woman's Insta ID, and she had wedding pictures with my dad. Even Ashley knew? No. This all happened because of you. I hate you. I was so angry that I ran out of the house without even thinking. And right at that moment, something hit me and knocked the wind out of my lungs. Then, everything went black. When I woke up, I tried to open my eyes, but everything was pitch black. Who turned off the lights? Put it back on. I can't see anything.
Honey, the lights are on.
It turned out that the impact of the accident made me lose my eyesight. I was blind. Mom informed Dad, and he wanted to talk to me on the phone, but I refused. He could have visited me from China, but he didn't. After I was discharged from the hospital, Mom had a hard time taking care of me, so Ashley was practically living with us. I wanted to be angry at her for not telling me about Dad, but I couldn't. My family drama shouldn't affect our relationship. The craziest thing happened at school today. Mr. S was teaching a class, and boom, his wig fell off. OMG, that must have been epic. I was way happier to spend time with Ashley rather than with Mom. It was her fault that Dad left in the first place, I suppose. I mean, it must have been, because she was always so busy. I can get up by myself. I'm blind, not handicapped. And you must have work. You can go. I can handle it. But over time, I noticed how Mom was home more. It was like she was changing. She wanted to be constantly by my side. And even though I was always so snappy with her, she was patient. One time, I was listening to an old birthday video recording, and hearing Dad's voice made me cry. Right then, Mom came and hugged me. Oh, Mom, how could Dad forget me so soon?
It's his loss, honey. You have me. You'll always have me. I promise.
6 months passed by, and the doctor suggested surgery for my eyesight, which was not only risky, but also very expensive. Mom needed time to think, and that's when the doctor suggested it would be good if I started school again. I needed to get back out into the world. But I was so terrified. As I walked into school with my cane and Ashley by my side, I could feel my heart in my mouth. I was expecting to hear mean comments, but instead, I heard kids gasp.
Is it her?
OMG, she's back.
Yeah, she's here.
And then, all of a sudden, kids started clapping. I was baffled. What's going on? Are they making fun of me, Ashley? No, everyone is lined up in the hall, clapping for you. What? But why? Well, the day was full of surprises. Kids were super nice to me in class. During lunchtime, tons of kids sat at my table. Even Mason was there.
Hey, it's good to see you. School hasn't been the same without you.
Why? You didn't have anyone to pick on? Ashley was here. You could have bothered her.
Nah, not the same without you. Oh, I came up with a joke for you. You want to hear it? Of course you do. What do you call a blind dinosaur? Do you think he saw us?
God help me, Mason. I will punch you. Oh yeah, Mason? Tell me this. What do you call a blind reindeer? No idea.
Now that's a good one.
I guess Mason wasn't such a jerk after all. While everyone was always being nice to me, Mason did something different. He made me feel normal, and I liked it. He'd still tease me, call me a nerd, but now he also cared for me. Every day, the moment I'd enter school, Mason would hold my hand and guide me to class while telling me how he'd rather be doing something else. But I laughed because I knew it was the first thing he looked forward to. And whenever he rubbed his thumb on the back of my hand, I somehow felt calm. With him, soon our duo became a trio. Mason went everywhere with us. Yeah, he was still annoying, but in a sweet way. It was refreshing. Ashley, on the other hand, thought he was up to something. Why is he always hanging out with us? Like, where are his guy friends? Are we not nerds anymore? Gosh, he's always looking at you. It's weird, isn't it? Do you think he likes you? And that's why he hangs out with us? Ashley, it isn't weird, but now you made it weird. Yeah, fine. Mason was handsome, but him being friends with us didn't mean he liked me. He was just being nice, I think. A few days later, when I got home from school, Mom gave me the biggest news ever. My surgery was happening. She finally had the funds. I was super scared for the surgery, but Ashley and Mason were at the hospital when I woke up. I was so happy. It was so good to see their faces again. When I got back to school, I thought the attention from my classmates would end, but it didn't.
Hey, gorgeous.
Whoa, why was I feeling butterflies in my stomach seeing Mason?
One of my friends is having a party tonight. Wanna come?
Was Mason asking me out? Was a party a date? Sure, pick me up at 7. When Mason arrived to pick me up, he looked like $1,000,000, as he always did. Where's the ride? Are we gonna walk there?
Actually, I was thinking, what if, Tony, I need to ask you a huge favor. My exams are starting soon, and you know me. It's just that I don't want to fail. Could you
help you? Of course, yeah. Come on in. We studied together that night, and I realized Mason just had some attention problems. He would just get bored really fast. So over the next few weeks, I tried different ways to help him understand concepts, and he was able to. But on the day of his exam, he was still nervous. Hey, it's okay. You've worked really hard.
What if I still fail? Everyone thinks I'm stupid.
They must be jerks. You are awesome and kind and amazing. Mason, I think, never mind. Just as I turned, Mason grabbed my hand and pulled me in for a kiss. It was perfect.
Gosh, Tony, you are perfect. If only you could see yourself as I see you.
Saying that, Mason leaned in and kissed me. The entire night, I couldn't stop thinking about the kiss. Once his exams were over, Mason asked me to the prom. And of course, I said yes. But when Ashley found out, she totally freaked out. Now something is definitely up. There's no way he would just ask you. Why not, Ashley? Am I not pretty enough? Spit it out, Ashley. That's not what I mean. I mean, it's just weird. The way he's just oh so nice all of a sudden. And of course, you're pretty. I don't know what you mean, but I'm tired of this. Mason likes me. Deal with it. I hated how she said that, but I knew Ashley had a point. Was this just a game to Mason? That night, when he came to my window, I couldn't help but ask, Mason, why did you ask me to the prom and not one of the cheerleaders? Do you still pity me as the blind girl? No, I really like you. I know we didn't start off on the right foot, but I always had a crush on you. I didn't know how to express it. I just sort of annoyed you instead. But that day, after the accident happened, seeing you lying there in your pink PJs and unable to do anything, I felt horrible. When I saw you in the hospital, I knew I had to show you how I felt about you. Tony, Wait a minute. How did you know I was wearing pink PJs? Were you there when the accident happened? Mason looked shocked, and I knew why. OMG, it was you, wasn't it? I just realized you don't have a car anymore. What happened? Your dad took it from you after you hit a girl with it? After you hit me? Tony, I wanted to tell you like a million times, but I couldn't. I didn't know if you'd ever talk to me again. It was an accident. You just came out of nowhere. It wasn't my fault, and yours neither. I am so sorry. Not your fault? Get out. I don't ever want to see your face. Leave. I felt like a million emotions wash over me. Ashley was right. There was no way someone like Mason could like me. He was just hanging out with me because he felt guilty. I sent a message to Ashley. She came over right away, and after learning everything, she hugged me tight. Over the next few days, I kept replaying the whole accident scene every night in my head, and I realized Mason was right. It was me who came in front of the car. I am such an idiot. I needed to make things right. I tried calling him, but he never picked up. The next day when I went to school, I looked everywhere for Mason, but he was nowhere to be found. And when Mom came to pick me up, she gave me the most shocking news ever. Apparently, someone had come forward regarding my accident. It was Mason.
I am shocked. That boy was your friend. He looked like a saint. He helped us so much, and in the end, he turned out to be the one responsible. I don't know what to believe.
Helped us? What do you mean?
He didn't tell you? He helped raise money for your surgery. He set up a GoFundMe and ran ads all over the internet. Maybe he was doing it just to not feel guilty.
Mom, I gotta tell you something. I told Mom all about the accident, how it was me who ran in front of the car. She immediately called her cop friend, and Mason was released. I love you, Mom. Thank you for everything. I'm sorry I treated you badly before and blaming you for what Dad did. I love you so deeply. Later that night, I waited for Mason to come to my window. When he didn't, Ashley and I went to his. I still don't like him, but fine. I'll accept him. For you.
Bet you would.
As I climbed his window with Ashley's help, I caught Mason watching MSA videos on his phone. So, why didn't you tell me you helped raise money for me?
'Cause it didn't matter. What mattered was how I felt for you, how you felt for me, how you feel for me. I'm sorry about...
Before he could finish, I rose up on my toes and kissed him. So, is the offer to go to prom with you still on?